Monte, would you like to come up and speak on a fun day in your life?
A fun day in my life.
That's the topic for today for everybody. It's a fun day in your life.
All right. Robin's asked me to speak about a fun day in my life, but I think I'm going to change it just a little bit and call it a day in my life where I made a bad choice but managed to survive it in spite of making a bad choice. And when I was in college, my father and I went to Lake Okoboji, which is one of the Iowa Great Lakes. We often rented a little boat and had a small outboard motor that was kind of an antique that we used to play with. And we went down and we got a rental boat, and the sky was kind of gray and cloudy and scary, and the waves were kind of bouncing. And Dad said, well, let's go anyway. And I said, being carefree, I said, all right, let's go. And we got out there and I started the boat. And the motor was, the throttle, you had to use a broken popsicle stick to hold the throttle open. Otherwise it would kind of slide closed. It was that old and crummy. So we're sailing along, and the wind is at our back, fortunately, so we really can't tell how bad the waves are. We're sailing, and it's getting colder and colder, and the wind is blowing harder and harder. Dad says, maybe we should turn around and go back. And I said, well, I agree. So I pushed the tiller over to the side, and we turned. Fortunately, that we didn't broach to and sink. Well, we did manage to turn around, but now the water's crashing over the bow. I'm having to hold the throttle open, and my dad's trying to hold my coat closed because I wasn't there. And we're sailing along, and the water's terrible. And we got back to the dock and tied it up and gave him our rental boat back. That was probably one of the silliest decisions we'd ever made, but thank goodness I managed to live through it. And that was an exciting day for me.